Hello all you lovely people, and welcome to another Enhanced Edition, but this is a slightly different Enhanced Edition because this is an Enhanced Edition Mini, which is a name I may or may not stick with. The reason it's a mini is because there are a handful of figures that I have done some work on either in the past or done some updates or things of that nature where the amount of stuff that I've done to customize them or to further finish customizing just isn't enough to warrant a separate video. So rather than either not do anything or try and do an Enhanced Edition video that's like a minute and a half long, I figured why not grab everything and just toss them all together in one big video. So we have Cybertron Downshift, which you all probably recognize from all of the size comparisons I've been doing for the last long while, Tobot v Leo Kaiser, Tobot Adventure Z, and Turning Mechard or Mechard Griffynx. We'll get into all of these changes individually right now. Let's start with the smallest one, because the smallest one is going to be the easiest one to go over. So, Downshift. I did not do anything to the robot mode, hence why he is in his vehicle mode. The changes that I added are minimal. I do kind of want to do more in the future, but I haven't quite figured out what I want that more to be just yet. But I did a little bit here, like I did the yellow for the lights on the front and back sides of the car. I did the silver for the door handles. I did not do anything for the rear view or side mirrors, rather. I did not do anything for the side mirrors yet, but kind of hoping to. I would love to paint this so that it matches the side of the car, but I don't have the means to do that right now, so that's just kind of being left as is. And lastly, I did the exhaust pipes on the back, and those are on the backs of the feet, so when he's in robot mode you don't really see them. But yeah, I added just a tiny bit to Downshift. Some of you may have noticed in the size comparisons that I've been doing that he was sporting a few added little paint details here and there. That's what I did to him, and it was absolutely not worth making a separate video just for that. So that's where we're at with Downshift right now, but we will see what happens in the future. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to leave it as is or do more later, but that's where Downshift's at. Moving on to Tobot v Leo Kaiser. The only bit that I wasn't able to do at the time when I originally made the video on this guy was his non-super mode toes. I had painted pretty much everything else the way I wanted to paint it, and there wasn't a whole lot to paint on this guy, but I finally got a gunmetal-ish color that I could use for the toes. So I painted in those, they're originally this kind of yellow color. I painted those in, so now his toes look a little bit more full and complete when he's not powered up. And it's silly, I know, because he's not going to spend much time in this mode, if at all, really. But it was bothering me that that was a problem, so I fixed it. And I went kind of into the cracks there as well because I wanted to make sure that it looked as complete as I could get it. Due to the way this is molded, the toes obviously don't go all the way up, so you've got this gap here. But again, I wanted to paint in there so that it looks, at least color-wise, a little bit more accurate, because if I left that orange, then it just looked like this very, very obvious opening there. And I also had to shave, just on this side, but I just had to shave the inside edge right in here on the top here down a little bit, because when I was transforming it originally, this bit would scrape against that as I moved the toes around, and it would just rub the paint right off. So I went in there, scraped it down a little bit, and now it transforms without issue. And yeah, that's all I did to Leo Kaiser. I'd put him in his powered up mode, but like this is just inside his foot in his powered up mode, so you wouldn't even see it. But I finally did that, yay! Tobot Adventure Z then. This is a thing that I did a while back. When I made the original video on Adventure Z, I had actually sold that figure after I made the video, and I regretted it, and so I got another one. And when I got that new one, which is this one, I decided, what the heck, I'm gonna do some panel lining on this guy. The panel lining I did was only on the robot bits and like the gas cap, which you can see right there. So that's why he's in his robot mode, because I did not do any panel lining really to the car. I just did a little bit here and there. I didn't really do anything to the feet, but I did do these bits on the outsides of the knees, these bits on the hips, these bits around the hips as well. I did not do anything up there specifically, but you know, it goes around to the back of the hips, and then Did some more panel lining on the gray pelvisy area to kind of bring those details out. Did some work on the forearms, a little bit in the shoulders, and in the backs of the shoulders. Didn't really do much to the back though, because it's the back. And then lastly, there was the panel around his head. I did just a little bit of panel lining in there. And it's not a huge change, but I kind of like it. I like these little details popping out way more in his thighs. And it just kind of makes him feel, I guess, a little bit more personal, a little bit more me. All right, last one. And that is turning mech card Gryphinx. And once again, the reason why this guy is in his robot mode and not in his vehicle mode is vehicle modes is because I did not do anything to the vehicle modes themselves. All of the work I did, all the panel lining I did was just for the robot mode. And so you can see some of the detailing in the shins and around the knees here, and some work in the thighs and on the inside. Some along the outside of the thighs and the backs as well. Even though you don't really see them that well, I still wanted to get them. And did not do anything to the Griffin or Sphinx bits specifically. It was just the combined robot mode stuff. That may change in the future, I don't know. For now, I wanted to keep it pretty simple, so I just did the robot stuff. But yeah, I've got some more detailing on the arms and in here. Did not do anything to the wings up here because I wanted to kind of keep those pristine, I guess is the word I'm looking for, but not quite. There's a little bit more detailing going on in the shoulders and around the Griffin head. And I know I said I didn't want to do the stuff for the individual animal modes, just for the robot mode, but this is a pretty prominent detail, so I kind of felt that I had to do it. Did some more stuff up along here and along the backs of the shoulders. And then, of course, I also did some panel lining on the head to make those details stand out a little bit more. As I said, don't know if in the future, if I'm going to add any more details. I might not. It is undecided, but that's where I'm at with Gryphinx. And that's where I'm at with all of these figures, really. Downshift is down there. Yeah, like I said, this was just a thing where I wanted to go over some stuff real quick, some of these minor changes that I did to a few figures that I feel like wouldn't have been enough for their own video. If you have any of these figures, if you're curious what they might look like with some of this detailing done, well, there you go. So thank you everybody for watching. As per usual, feel free to chime in down below. I always enjoy hearing from you all, and please stay fabulous.